Greetings, car fanatics. When I was detailing my car for the very first time, I wanted to do the proper job, and then when I started researching the different ways to detail your car and what products to use, I got really confused. So there's a ton of marketing mumbo jumbo around different products, but detailing your car doesn't have to be complicated. In this video, I'm going to give you a very simple overview on how to detail your car, and this should work no matter what condition your paint is in. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's first start by understanding how paint detailing works. Over time you'll get scratches in the clear coat. This means that light isn't reflected uniformly off your clear coat, which is what allows you to see swirl marks, holograms, hazing, etc. Additionally, over time your paint gets all kinds of gunk stuck on top of it, like tree sap, bird poop, and other things. All of this sits on top of your clear coat and reduces its ability to reflect light, and thus your finish will become dull over time. The first step in the process of detailing your car is to clean your paint surface so there is no longer any gunk on there. You can use soap to help remove most of the paint contamination. While this is going to get rid of a lot of the easy to remove gunk, it won't get everything off. This is why you want to use a clay bar next when detailing your car. The clay bar is going to be really sticky and it's going to be able to grab and remove any remaining gunk. After you're done clay barring, you'll have a nice clean surface. However, you'll still have scratches, swirl marks, and other defects in the clear coat. So after claying, you'll want to shave a layer of your clear coat off to even out that finish, and that's what's going to give you a nice shine. In detailing, the most common product used is going to be rubbing compound, which is a fairly abrasive compound that's going to be able to level out your clear coat, but not eat all the way through and get into your paint. After you're done compounding your car, it's going to leave your clear coat nice and level. However, your clear coat won't be shiny because rubbing compound can actually leave behind very fine and light micro scratches, which is going to make your clear coat not appear as shiny as it could be. This is why people then follow up with a polish, which is less abrasive than a rubbing compound, and it's going to leave behind a nice and shiny finish. So after you polish your car, your paint is going to be nice and perfect. However, it won't stay as long for a while unless you protect it. The last step in the process is to protect your paint by adding a layer of wax or sealant. And this is pretty much the concept of detailing and paint correction. Now let's go ahead and review the products I use on my car. Starting with soap, I like to use plain old dishwashing soap. While you're not supposed to wash your car regularly with dishwashing soap, it's perfect for detailing because it strips away all the old wax and sealant on your paint. It also does a nice job removing bugs, tar, and other contaminants. For the next step, I like to use a clay bar mitt instead of a clay bar. I find that the mitt is nearly as effective as a clay bar, but it's a lot quicker to use because of its size. You're able to cover a lot of area very quickly. The clay mitt is also cheaper after a few uses because it's washable. If you're going to use a clay bar or a clay mitt, don't worry about using any fancy lubricant spray. Your car wash soap is perfectly sufficient and will save you money. Now moving on to rubbing compounds, I like to use Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. A traditional rubbing compound is pretty abrasive and can require a lot of polishing steps afterwards to get a nice finish. Ultimate Compound, however, is really great because it has abrasives that diminish while you're using it. This makes it less likely that you'll remove too much clear coat and damage your paint. It also means that you're going to get a pretty decent shine after just using the Ultimate Compound alone. If you need some additional cutting power, you can use different types of cutting pads. These cutting pads can be more or less abrasive depending on what you need. The level of abrasiveness of the pad combined with whatever compound you're going to use is going to give you overall cutting power, and you should try to suit this depending on the condition of your paint. Now moving on to the polishes, we can think of the Meguiar's products on a spectrum of abrasiveness. The Ultimate Compound is the most abrasive compound that I have here. The next slightly less abrasive product is Scratch X 2.0. This is good if you want to spot treat a few scratches or if your paint doesn't need as much correction. If your car just has a few light swirl marks, you can also use Swirl X, which is even less abrasive than the Scratch X. Then finally here we have the Ultimate Polish, which can handle very light swirls and it'll leave a nice shiny finish when you're done. So there are a lot of different products you can use on your car to correct any swirls and scratches, but whenever detailing your car, you want to determine how abrasive you have to be. If your paint is in pretty bad shape, you might need a compound and then polish. On the other hand, if your paint is in pretty good shape or it's really soft, you might only need the Ultimate Polish or the Swirl X. All in all, you want to correct your paint sparingly. If you do it too often, you run the risk of running out of clear coat. I recommend performing a minor paint correction no more than once a year. Alright, and up next for protection, I have Meguiar's Cleaner Wax, which is a carnauba wax that leaves a deep glossy shine. However, this is a cleaner wax, which means it can also help remove contaminants from your paint and fill in light swirl marks. Carnauba waxes in general leave a very great finish. However, they don't offer very long protection and melt off pretty easily. So if you live in a pretty hot climate, a carnauba wax will not give you very much protection. Our next two products here are sealants, which you can think of as synthetic waxes. They offer a lot longer protection than carnauba waxes. The first sealant is Meguiar's Fast Finish. I really like this sealant. It falls into the category of a wipe-on, walk-away sealant, which means you can seal your entire car in about 10 minutes, and this will give you up to a year of protection. You simply spray the Fast Finish onto a microfiber towel, you spread it over your car, and then you take another microfiber towel and you just kind of go over it to make sure you level out the finish. It doesn't cake up like a traditional wax or sealant, so there's really nothing to remove. The last sealant I have here is Griot's One-Step Sealant. This is in the category of an all-in-one. So if your paint is in pretty good condition or you just want to make your finish look better, this product will allow you to skip these stages of compounding and polishing. Instead, you can use this one-step sealant which has light polishing abilities and it'll seal your paint at the same time. I used this on my 911 and after 6 months, the paint is still looking pretty good. This is really my go-to product because I don't have a ton of time to detail my cars and I'm not necessarily looking for an absolutely perfect finish. But for me, this is a great product because it saves me time and it works. And the final products I have here are in the category of spray-on waxes and sealants. These are quick detailing products that can help you protect your finish longer. You can apply it after a car wash with a microfiber towel, and it'll just add a fresh layer of wax or sealant. I personally don't use these too much. I think it's a good idea if I need to detail a panel quickly, but I don't like the idea of applying too much products on my paint. Ultimately, the more you touch your paint, the more likely you are to leave behind swirl marks and scratches. The best thing you can do to keep your paint looking good and lasting a long time is to wash it properly so you don't allow gunk to get caked on. Alright, car fanatics, well there you have it. This was a quick overview of how I detail my car. Now if you're getting into detailing or you have a daily driver and you don't need absolutely perfect paint, this method is going to be really good and it's going to give you 95% of the results of other crazy detail jobs out there. So if you're interested in finding what products to use in different categories, I'm going to leave links in the description below to all the products I've shown in the video, as well as what I think are the best in class products for each of the categories. If you like this video and you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Leave any questions or comments below.